with black supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to speak on the Charlemagne controversy. That's what I call it. Not the allegations, but the entirety of the controversy. But I'll do it in a two-part series. But I want to be unpopular with this first angle that I'm going at it. Then I'll give you my usual approach to these types of situations. Cosby, R. Kelly, the list goes on. I'll just give you my regular, normal approach. But first I'll approach this one differently, because many of you, those, if you follow me, you already know what I would say about this. You already know what my response to this would be. If you've been following me and subscribing to me and watching my videos, you could do that video yourself. So I'm going to just do a different video first, and then for the second video, I'll come back for those who don't follow me, and I'll just give them my normal response to these types of events. So in the first video, I want to talk about the Charlemagne, the God, really believe that he is a God, or that he is God. Do he really believe that, or is he playing with that idea? And I think that's a major question here. That's the real black supremacist question, because the rest goes into some victim consciousness, and it goes into, you know, black man being under attack in the media. It goes into a whole nother narrative where we tend to typically not be able to dig ourselves out of that. Those types of narratives tend to bury us, even though they're relevant. But what about Charlemagne being the God? Does he really believe he's God? Because if he believes he's God, and if those people that really follow Charlemagne acknowledging him to be a God, then for one, who's to question Charlemagne and what he's doing, what he has done? If he's God, he could sleep with whoever the hell he wants to if he's God. Some of you gonna argue, oh, he don't mean that literally, that's figuratively. We all didn't look at the 5% lessons. We've studied in metaphysics. Charlemagne the God, he's saying he's God. Who can question what he does? And why does God care what the hell you think about him? Because no God, according to no religion, from the Torah, the New Testament, the Quran, Allah does what he will. No God ever cared about what anyone thought of him. No God ever cared about that. No God was seeking validation outside of himself. I mean, he's God of the universe, the master of his destiny, the ruler of his cipher. So he doesn't care. So no God is seeking no validation. No God cares about losing no job at the Breakfast Club, because God ain't really under nobody. God is a sovereign, omnipotent, powerful, create his own reality. He's not worried about no Breakfast Club job. He's not making excuses for himself. God is right and exact with everything that he does, completely and absolutely clear on what he's manifested. Does Charlemagne the God really believe that he is a God? Because his responses to me don't sound godlike. The way he's approaching these situations don't sound like godlike. He's hiding behind the legal system with how he addressed the situation that went on. But if he's a God, who can question anything that went on and anything that he did? Does Charlemagne the God really believe that he's God, or is he just playing on that? Is he just playing on the conscious community? Is he playing on those that have knowledge of self? Is he trying to pretend as though he's somewhat enlightened? Because if he believed that he was God, he would say, so fucking what? So fucking what? And I'm not saying that because I condone his behavior or I'm being insensitive of the matter or the situation at hand based on how you all feel about that or what you all heard or the allegations. I'm not doing it. I'm not condoning that or being insensitive. I'm talking about God. Because if you present yourself as being the God, you're going to be tested and you're going to be challenged. And some out here expect you to live up to that. When you say you're God, either it's blasphemy or you reached a higher level of consciousness where you at a sovereign, omnipotent level with dealing with these situations. You're not shucking and jiving, cooning and buffooning, and you're not being a donkey of the day. God don't give a goddamn. God don't care, because God is all powerful. God is all wise and almighty. Supreme wisdom. So God would not give a damn. God don't have to explain himself to entities that are lesser than him. God doesn't have to appeal to those who are operating out of not having the knowledge of themselves. God is God. So is his name being pimped? Is he just saying he God? Is he just pimping that? Or is he really an awakened entity? Has he been enlightened? Do he really have the knowledge of self? Is he at a degree of supreme wisdom? Because God, that's a high position, man. That means you are powerful. That means you have attained some type of power. That's the angle I want to touch on it at first, because right now we're in a time as black supremacists. This is the time where we really have to really stand in our God consciousness and really move into that and not get distracted by the things that's going on in the world, distracted by the illusions of the matrix and the Maya, and really be situated in our God consciousness, in our divine realization of who we are. If we are God, we're going to have to act like it. We're going to have to stand in that, or we're going to have to get the fuck out the way. Because real gods is watching. Real gods is paying attention. The real God. Not just playing with names and words and trying to appeal to certain audiences, marketing, pimping consciousness, but truly existing in a complete realization of God. The devil is going to move you out the way if you can't really stand up and be that God. If you're faking, imitating, portraying yourself falsely, the devil gonna move you out the way. The devil is gonna prove you to be a deception, to be a lie. This King Noble Black Supremacy, signing out.